Welcome back, everyone, to Random Thoughts. Another Storybook Brawl attempt here. As you can see, we're kind of, I was going to say staying the course, but not really. We keep bouncing back and forth between straight up 2,000 rating points and, as I mentioned before, somewhere close to 2,800. And it seems to be in these weird, unseemly streaks that I just have these games where I run them back to back to back where I can't lose. And then I just have a series of games where I just straight up cannot win. So we'll see how this turns out today. I've hypothesized some reasons for it on Twitter, and we'll see if we can try and break the pattern. We're going to go with Jack's Giant. I don't think I've featured this on YouTube yet. And I actually like this hero a lot. While I do really enjoy playing the Curse King, I've had some success lately with Jack's Giant as well. There is an argument if I had enough Fairy Dust to maybe go with Mask. I'm not a huge fan of Mordred, but we'll stick with the Giant. I think Jack's Giant allows you to win a lot of early stuff. As with most heroes, their power does not really scale well into the late game. But that doesn't mean that it cannot. So I think we do this. We're going to re-roll. We can pick these. No, we can pick up one and cast a spell next turn. This wasn't the best start, but again, we start with a 2-4 instead of a 2-2. Maybe it would have been better to get the Black Cat and have a 1-2 and a 1-2. But we'll see. I'm tempted to lock the double Kitty Cut Purse, but I don't really want to. This kind of exemplifies what I was talking about, where we're able to win something that we would have drawn ordinarily. So I think we're going to do this. So here's where I think we'll lock. I would be very happy to get the Black Cat. We could get 2 charges off of the Cinderella. Arguably, we want the Familiar and or the Minotaur, but I think just taking the Black Cat and then scrolling here is worth it. There's the potential that we hit a Shrink spell. There's the potential that we hit Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, or other things that could be beneficial. So let's see here. Yeah, we're just going to go with the original plan. Plus, this obviously pairs well with the Mad Mem. We get an Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, not the one we were looking for. I'm not sure we want to sell it. I would have rather had the Familiar, but I think this is acceptable. So we'll stick with this. Reroll just in case. We'll see where we can go from here. At this stage, we obviously don't have a game plan yet. We're just kind of taking things that are solid. We don't really need to solidify it just yet. And we should be able to take this down. Yep. The Black Cat art, for me, sometimes I miss which cat is up there. I'm not super enthusiastic about any of these choices. I mean, I want the Tweedledee, but then we don't really have much else to offer. We could reroll and then get a 3-drop and a 1-cost spell, which I guess is probably our best bet. Or this. So I'm not a huge fan of Vampire, as I've stated in the past. We're going to go with this. Probably putting it up front as a 6/6 is better. This will let us complete the Cinderella quest. These are awful. I mean, Ring of Meteors is decent, but it's not in this scenario. Candy Rain. So we have a pretty substantially sized front line. There shouldn't be any challenge taking down this particular brawl. And obviously there is not. Winning these early brawls seems insignificant, but I've found it is pretty important to make sure that you are properly growing into the mid game and then the late game. I don't like Darkwood Creeper, but we do have, again, a pretty large-sized front line, so we'll stick with it for now. We're just taking the chicken. We could take the Adventurer and set up for a Lost Soul next turn. Like, that wouldn't be ridiculous. Or next level, rather, not next turn. That actually probably would have been better. It likely would have been better. Like, do we lock for this? I don't think we do. The tiny isn't awful, or I keep calling this tiny, it's crafty. I don't know why I keep calling it tiny. Alright, so our opponent also has a pretty big front line. But we are able to take most of it down. We're going to have to trade unfavorably there, but we do end up taking down the W, which is good. It's a pretty damn big unicorn that was showing up there. This is probably better than the baby root. Not that I'm super excited. Like, I'm not a huge fan of running heavy support comps. Maybe I should be. Maybe that's part of the problem. But I always feel that I linger with them a little too long. We can probably squeeze this Turkish Delight in. We haven't found anything that's really saying, okay, play this build. I mean, we could have found a Evil Queen, and that would have been pretty decent, because we're obviously heavy evil-based right now. Vulture on 4 is not really going to help. We'd have to completely transition to go into royalty. I mean, we do already have the upgraded Cinderella, so there is something to be said there. You know, if we were to find an Arthur, for example. Wonder Waddle. Often the winner of many lobbies. Alright, so they do get a trigger on their Slay character. We unfortunately do not trade there. And this is not looking good. Nope. This is looking real bad. It was looking okay for a little bit, but couldn't quite get the victory here. So, I think we want the Medusa. We can buff the Medusa to make it more of a threat. Take this for the upgrade, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm not a huge fan of Nutcracker. I don't think we really have anything to truly assist the dragon. Obviously, we could put it in front of the Mim and let it snipe things. I don't really know what we're doing here. It just feels like a hodgepodge of mediocrity. We're kind of leaning on Medusa to just carry the day somewhat and score some cheesy wins. So we're up against Mad Catter. It's a pretty sizable team. We do Medusa the donkey, which is good, simply so that we reduce potential things to fight. We're able to get the big tree. And we get their other big tree. Yeah, we're in good shape. I'm still not a fan of what we have set up, but it seems to be working. So we do find an Arthur or the Cinderella. Like, we could pull the Creeper. I don't know if this is really worth it, to be honest. I mean, Arthur's slightly bigger than the Creeper. The Cinderella could replace this. It does weaken the remainder of our team somewhat. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the Nutcracker. We do find a Romeo, but we haven't seen a Juliet. We didn't find any of the sleigh stuff either. You know, like, we didn't see a lost soul. We didn't see a number of different things. We'll take the Romeo. Alright, so there's a Creeper. 2. This is an awkward lock, but I want to get the treasure. Level 3 has a number of treasures that are worthwhile that could carry us in the late game, such as, you know, Crystal Ball or Merlin's Hat, stuff like that. But this entire team is just supremely awkward. Alright, well, we Medusa something, quote-unquote, for free. And we are getting some 2-for-1s, a little bit. We trade front lines, and we have a better back line. So we'll take down this win. We're just kind of scraping by in every fight, which is a little weird, a little awkward. Ranged characters versus sleigh. We don't have either just yet. Not a huge fan of fancy pants. We'll go with the quiver. Like, there are things that we could pick up on this level. I'm thinking Baba Yaga, although it obviously isn't spectacular. We'll forego the Medusa for now. Alright, so here's a lost soul. But we don't have the sleigh to activate it. I don't know how we'd fit in the rotten apple tree. If we took the lost soul, this would be a lot better. This is looking extremely awkward right now. Extremely awkward. Maybe we should have... Yeah, we probably should have had the Creeper in. To help buff Lancelot, because otherwise Lancelot just seems to never, ever activate, and it's super frustrating. So, this Evella has a Evil Queen that's getting hugely buffed back there. Big time buffs. Oh boy, we are gonna get smashed. We're gonna take 1 billion. Or 8. Roughly the same. We did find some sleigh-related stuff, which I guess we can go into. I'm not super enthusiastic about it, but, I mean, you take what you can get. These things seem okay. Alright, so you're here. You here. You here. Two, 3, Mim. We'll put in the Creeper, like I said, this way Lancelot hopefully grows faster. While we don't have that many triggers, obviously, to activate the assassin, we do have the quiver, which I was trying to set up for. Or it'll just get sniped and it's completely irrelevant. This is a supremely bad team for us. Of course, you punch that one, so you get no triggers out of this. We reduce 1 damage and take 10. Oof. That's really bad. We also know that one of the Baba Yagas is out of the pool for us. The Creeper just seems really bad. What if we replaced it with the Mummy? How do we feel about that? We're up against somebody who's eliminated, so I want to re-roll for better things. I think double Lost Soul is better than the Creeper. It feels weird with the Medusa in 1 to have these Lost Souls over here. As long as they go off, that's all that really matters. I'm still, like I said, not a fan of the Wicked Witch, but it is what it is. We didn't get a whole lot of experience acceleration. Neither did anybody in the lobby. I mean, we have Skip at 6, but obviously Skip is going to be at 6 ahead of everybody. Barring, you know, a bunch of spells. I was about to say, are we actually going to get any triggers? But we will get some, it would appear. Maybe. All right, we'll get the maximum amount, I think, that we could have got. And Lancelot's relatively close, not very, but we might be able to make something happen. Yeah, so we could get Grumblegore, do this, and now he'll automatically trigger. We can also pick up Jormungand. Put you here. Do we do this? It's weird having the Medusa not in the first slot, but... So we'll get our upgrade on Lancelot right off the bat. I don't know if we want to keep using him. The problem is that the Lost Souls, or Grim... I keep saying Lost Souls, Grim Souls, will... I don't know whether we want it on Lancelot or Jormungand. I'm honestly not sure. Obviously, either one helps the Shadow Assassin, but I don't know if Lancelot's going to grow big enough, fast enough for it to truly matter. We're up against Ivella again, who kind of beat us up last time. They have basically the same team for the most part. I don't know if that's good or bad for us. This got up to like a 30-something. Alright, so that will decrease the number of animals, which is good. Unfortunately, we lose the Lancelot, and we lose the Jormungand. Oh, we're 1 off. We're 1 off winning that. Instead of drawing. Unfortunate. I think we're going to go with Staff of the Old Toad. We could double these, which is solid. And I used to really like Sword of Fire and Ice, but I've kind of... It's fallen off for me. Pick up the other Jormungand. I kept these so that we could get the other level 5 treasure. Tree of Life probably is very good here. We'll replace the Sarcophagus. The 3 damage likely doesn't matter at this stage in the game. So the question is, do we replace a Grim Soul? I feel like we do. Now that he's upgraded, none of these things have to be there. Maybe we should have kept the Grim Soul in and maybe removed the Medusa or the Grumblegore. That feels wrong. Alright, a Pigomorph is not great for us. That's okay, though. Not spectacular, but everybody heals, so that's good. Alright, so far so good. Getting Slay triggers, not ideal ones, but... Oh, no! We were doing okay. I thought we had that. Clearly not. So we can't set up a good boy comp. Like, we need a lot of things to fall. I don't even know how we'd change the Jormungans. We'd have to, like, change into beauty, I guess. Alright, so Baba Yaga's probably worth it. We're obviously trying to find a way to complete the set on the Jormungans, etc. Echowood could be valuable. Echowood could definitely be valuable. Especially in the context of the Jormungans. We're going to lock that. She could get humongous. I don't know that this Merlin's test was worth it. We unfortunately can't sell enough, and like I said, the Dusa may be better here, I'm not sure. So we're up against Skip, who's been at level 6 for a while. Oh, that's not great. Well, on the bright side, we are growing to some pretty large proportions here. And because of the heal from the Tree of Life, we're negating a lot of this damage. I mean, we don't have an insane Shadow Assassin, but it's a pretty solid Shadow Assassin. And we'll get one last trigger from the Jormungand for good measure. And we eliminate Skip. Alright, so now we're up against Ivella again, who apparently lost, it looks like. Creeper, do this, roll. Get another Yaga. If we can get the Baba Yaga or the Echowood to go off, be in great shape. I don't know how likely that is. I mean, maybe we should cut the Lancelot, put in the Grim Soul to ensure that, like, this happens. To ensure maximum growth on the Echowood. I don't know if that's a good idea. We're going to try it. Because now it's a 43-43 already. Obviously, it could have also grown with the Lancelot, but just not as quickly. So our opponent also has an Echowood, but it is not as big as ours. It's never going to be. We should be able to take this down easily. Like, look at these Jormungans. They're enormous. We crush their Echowood. They crash into us. None of this matters. Eliminate Ivella. Or whatever the name is now. Alright, so I think this was the right call, cutting the Lancelot, even though Lancelot is pretty big. And Lancelot starts about twice the size, essentially, close to, of one of the Jormungans, but if we could find another Jormungan, that would be awesome. We find a lost soul instead, so that's okay. I'm okay with that. I don't care about these, though. So we're looking for either a Pigamorph or upgrades, essentially. And we hit one of the things we wanted. Get rid of the Grumblegore. Put Lancelot back in. So unfortunately, we could end up hitting the Lancelot with this Grim Soul, which would be really bad, actually. Having the minimum number of Slay available in order to ensure what it hits is realistically what you want to do. But we don't really have something else to put in. We could put in the Medusa, I guess. Maybe that would have been better. Barring something weird, this will be the last fight. Oh yeah, they're Treants, I forgot. Ugh, that's not great. And of course it hit the Lancelot, so the worst possible scenario, so we lose. Yeah, we lose. Oof. So we should have put in the Medusa, and we might have been okay. So we made one good decision and one bad decision, and it ended up meaning that we did not end up taking down the victory. But it was still a lot of fun to run a Slay comp. I think they're the most fun for me in all of Storybook Brawl. And we took a second place. You can't complain too much. But that'll do it for this time, everybody. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.